I don't take everything literally. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
The first thing for communicating is not to put someone in between you.
That's what I said.
Keep yourself together.
Well, welcome to an all-new HBFIT TV episode. We have two people here that you don't normally see on camera with me. We have our guest of honor, Sadhguru, and we also have my husband, Brendan Paulus.
Also guru of his own kind.
So I just wanted I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more about Sadhguru. If you don't know, he's got an amazing YouTube channel, and he's an incredibly deep thinker and brings his philosophies to everyone all over the world and travels all over the world. And he happens to only be in New York for not even 24 hours. I think it's like a total of 12 hours. So I'm very appreciative of your time. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about your road and your journey.
You know I'm a pilot, I'm not on the road.
I forgot to mention that this guy is really funny and loves adventure things. He's got his pilot license. What's your favorite car? But you like to drive, no? Or you love golf, ultimate frisbee. I researched. I looked into your hobbies. So tell us, how did this adventurous man also gain so much knowledge?
See, there are two ways with life. Either you accumulate knowledge bit by bit, or you arrive at a more profound level of perception through which you know. When I say you know the nature of life. You know the nature of life not because you went to a library, because you are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the problem is most people are not alive. They're a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, identities. They're not sitting here as alive. They're sitting here a particular gender, they're sitting here with certain identities, race, religion, nationality, all kinds of things. Except life, they're everything else. But actually this is a life. So if you are alive, everything that is life you should know, isn't it? Because you are the life.
Mm-hmm.
You think the tree doesn't know anything about itself? The tree knows everything that it needs for a tree to be well. A worm knows everything that it needs to know for its well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Only the human beings don't know.
Yeah. Or question themselves. Right?
That's
They
not
continue
the
to question
question because you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're always in search of making sure, or trying to find, or bettering.
Validation.
No, but the worm knows what is best for him.
Yeah.
A bird knows what's best for him. Only the human being does not know what's best for them, simply because they have not learned to handle their own systems well. This very body and this brain has become a serious problem. Just 2 weeks ago, a television anchor in southern India, reasonably popular anchor, jumped off 5th floor of the apartment and killed herself. She left a note saying, "Nobody is responsible for my death, my brain is my enemy." Okay? Your brain, which took over, I don't know, 15–20 million years to manufacture this bloody brain,
Yeah.
and now it's your enemy.
Yeah, it's working against
It's your
you.
greatest gift.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking, is it true that you as a human being, you have the most sophisticated machine, human mechanism? Have you read the user's manual?
I feel like I
Have you read the user's
I
manual?
feel like I
There is no manual.
No, I feel like I am the manual.
But have you read it?
I think this
If you had read the user's manual, you would know how to make this work for you.
right.
Right now, people think they're suffering life. They're not suffering life, they're suffering their own mind. They call it stress, anxiety, depression, this, that, many things. Essentially, your intelligence has turned against you. Why your intelligence is turned against you? Once your intelligence turns against you, do you believe that anybody else can save you? Is it even a possibility? Once your intelligence turns against you, you are done.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening to human beings, because there is no perception of the nature of the life that we are. We think we can acquire knowledge about everything. After living here for 1,000,000 years, you put something in front of your dog, one sniff, he knows whether to eat it or not. Still in America, most people don't know what to eat.
It's really true.
They're still trying to figure it out, what's the best thing to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
I
year…
think about it every day.
Every year depends on the popular book that came out, which will decide what you eat, and
Yeah.
next year you know it's wrong,
Right.
and it's another thing and another thing.
Right.
Yeah.
This is simply because you're not here as a life, you're here as a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, ideologies, prejudices, opinions, identities.
So how do you navigate that, in your
So
opinion,
essentially
in the
my
best way?
entire work is to bring you a profound experience of who you are. With this, millions of people's lives have changed. Nearly 400 to 500 million people have been touched by this movement.
Wow.
And we have over 9 million volunteers who are working and making this happen. So this is essentially understanding for all basic life problems, in is the only way out. You are for your peace, for your joy, for your health, for your well-being, in is the only way out. This entire body was created from within, is that so?
Yes.
You gave food from outside, but it
You have to
happened
put
from
it
within.
in. Yeah.
Your brain also created from inside. So if you have a repair job to do, should you go to the manufacturer or to the local tinker? If you lost your connection with the manufacturer, you go to the local tinker. Local tinker will adjust this and that, but one who created the whole system from inside, you think there's no correction from inside? Just that people have lost that. So my effort is to give them tools and technologies, not teachings, not philosophies, not new set of beliefs, but tools and technologies to transform from within. Why I'm insisting it's a technology is, see, to make a technology work, what phone do you use?
iPhone.
Ah, you…
Same.
Same. Not you phone. Nobody came up with the U phone.
I know.
Yeah, it's an iPhone, yeah.
In India, there's a big struggle between iPhone and Samsung.
Right.
Samsung is winning
Yeah.
these days. It's become like two different religions.
Well, India, I feel like also is just like, I feel like there's going through so much with like the internet and everything that there's just like so much opportunity there in terms of how to market and everything. It's kind, I feel like, yeah, it's a
So,
company's dream.
the phone that you're using, a simple gadget, unless you read the user's manual, can you use it properly?
Yes. I don't read the user manual.
But
It's
because…
kind of innate. Like, look at children learn to use the iPhone even before.
No, but fundamentally instructions are there how to use it, right?
Yeah.
But your brain, is it more sophisticated than your iPhone?
Yes.
Because iPhone dropped out of this only.
Yeah.
But have you read the user's manual?
For our
If you had
brain?
read the user's manual, if you knew how to operate it, why would you cause stress? Why would you call anxiety? Why would you cause misery? You can call it by any number of names. Essentially, you do not know how to operate your own eye, not the phone. Eye is the biggest mechanism,
Yes.
isn't it?
But if you never had any communication with anyone externally, if you were just you, and existing in an environment, but you could never hear or get any information from someone, would you know how to run yourself properly?
Definitely.
Interesting.
Because there are two dimensions. Our function in the world is one kind, that you have to learn from outside.
Yeah.
But how we function within, we have to learn from inside. But how we have to function from within, we are trying to learn from outside. When I first came to United States, everybody was talking about stress management. I couldn't understand this because in my perception, we manage things which are precious to us. Our family, our wealth, our business, our money, we manage these things. Why would anybody want to manage stress? Took me it's a little time to
Yeah.
understand.
You're just trying to get rid of it immediately,
People-
not even think about it.
People have assumed that stress is a part of their life. No. It is just that you do not know how to manage your own body and your brain, that's all it is. So, this one thing happens. Suppose right now, you feeling wonderful, absolutely, sitting here.
I feel pretty great.
Let us say, I'll assume, all right? You feeling wonderful. Will you naturally be wonderful to me?
I think so, yeah.
When you're feeling
For sure.
wonderful. You're feeling nasty.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Will you
be…
share it with her or no?
The nastiness, you know, I try and bottle it, but it seeps
But
out.
It gets
Yeah.
out, right? It always gets out.
Yeah.
So, instead of teaching you morality, please be nice to her. If I teach you a simple technology with which you are feeling always wonderful, you are a great guy to the world also. Right now, the problem is, we think there are issues in the world. Yes, there are. But the biggest problem is, most human beings are a big issue by themselves. They don't need any outside help.
Yeah.
Right.
People can sit alone by themselves and make themselves utterly miserable. If you're… If
Those
you're-
are some of the most miserable people.
Yes. If you're alone and you're miserable, obviously you're in bad company, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You've brought the worst company.
Literally.
It's true.
When I'm with you, if I'm miserable, I can say it's because of this guy, I'm miserable. I'm sitting alone and I'm miserable, obviously
It's
It's
just
on
your
you,
fault.
yeah.
bad company.
Yeah.
So fix this one company, you're always in good company.
Right.
Outside issues we'll handle to the best of our capabilities.
And it's not gonna get any easier because as information becomes more easily passed and shareable with the internet, communication, everything, we're only gonna be bombarded by more and more, right? So this becomes more relevant to really just understand yourself.
To be in good company with yourself at
Yeah.
all times because you have so many things coming at you at all different
No,
angles.
there are many issues in the world. If you want to deal with those issues, first thing is you are not an issue.
Yeah.
If you yourself are an issue, how will you deal with any big issue in the world? You will not.
You will not. Not
That's
in a
a
proper
reason
way.
why so many simple problems in the world have not been attended to.
Right.
There are serious ecological issues, there are millions of children dying without food. Why it's not addressed is everybody is busy with their own issue.
Yeah. It's tough to, think about the second one when the first
No.
one's broken.
You
Right.
cannot think of anybody's well-being when you are not well.
Yeah.
Right.
When you're feeling miserable, you are the focus.
How's
When
your
you- only when
Can I
you're
borrow
feeling-
your manual?
Huh?
Where's your manual?
I'll give it to you.
your manual seems pretty,
On point.
pretty well written. It's really interesting.
So,
There is a book called Inner Engineering. It's an introductory to the manual.
Okay.
an introduction to the manual.
Yeah.
I'll,
Because you
I'll
must
I'll
know
get
how to
started
read
with
the
the intro.
manual.
Yeah. I don't know if I need the full manual yet. I just need,
The intro.
yeah.
Because when the iPhone comes, it may come with a Chinese manual for sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I need the translation.
So, Brendan and I are coming up on our 1-year anniversary of marriage.
1 year he survived.
He survived 1
Not there
year.
yet. We got about 12 days. 12 days to go.
But I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of talk about how to bring more mindfulness into your relationships. I find that as like a young entrepreneur, I constantly am talking to people, whether it's communicating in XYZ way, and it's really important that communication is at the top of my kind of pillar in the way that I conduct myself. So I just want to I like to feel like I'm doing my best and that I'm giving, the maximum effort. So are there any things that any tools or technologies?
Maximum, she can't do any better. Better get that.
She's already maxed out. The tank is full.
You know what, guys? I'm trying to be mindful here.
But I would say his philosophy or theory or thought would say focus on yourself first and then apply it to the relationship.
No. Why is he?
I don't know. That was
substituting for me?
weird.
No. Just like be one.
Well, why don't we let the guru himself tell us what he thinks?
Because as it started, I'm also a guru.
Okay.
So
See what I have to deal with over here?
my tank is not full, though. I'm ready to intake.
Anyway, you obviously have
First
some
of all,
thoughts.
I want to be clear about what you mean by mindful. If your mind is always full, then there's a lot of trouble. What is mindful? I don't understand.
Conscious.
Aware.
See, if you're mistaking mental alertness for awareness or consciousness, then there'll be a lot of trouble. You know, generally there is a saying, dog is man's best friend or something like that.
Yeah.
Not you, you got it. Why this term came is, this is when we lived out in the open, in nature. You fall asleep, you don't know what's happening, your dog is always alert. Little noise, little smell, he's alert and he saved your life all the time. So we said dog is man's best friend. Today he's become woman's best friend for a different reason. But dog was man's best friend because he saved your life on and on, because he's far more alert. If you're mistaking this alertness for awareness, first of all, this alertness is useful for survival process. If you want to survive in the world, you must be alert. You're driving, you must be alert. You want to do something else, you must be alert. But this is not awareness. Right now, are you alive? What does that mean?
It means
Are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive.
You're alive. How do you know?
Because I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm talking to you.
So essentially, because you're aware, you're alive. Suppose you're not aware, you don't know whether you're alive or not. You're fast asleep. Do you know you're alive?
No.
I do.
When you're
Come
sleeping?
on, when you're fast asleep,
You
how
can't,
do you know?
what are you talking about? You know you're alive when you're asleep?
I feel like I'm like, you know,
He
conscious
knows you're
dreaming.
alive because you snore.
No,
Yes, true.
I don't snore.
It's okay, don't…
No,
More
but
of a light rumble.
She takes everything literally.
I
No,
know.
but I feel like you do know. Okay, maybe I don't know I'm alive when I'm fully
You
asleep.
do not know.
No,
Nobody
because sometimes you
knows,
wake up and
alright?
you think you were, you know.
See, when you're fast asleep, you do not even know that whether you exist or the world exists, all right? Both are gone. So now you know that you're alive only because you're aware.
Okay.
So aliveness is awareness, they're not two different things.
Okay.
So if you want to become aware, you don't try to be aware, it's just a question of voltage. When I say voltage, let's say it's dark and there's one little bulb here. If it is running at a certain voltage, it lights up just one guy. We see this guy and think there's only one guy because that's all we see. There's so many people, but we did not see them. We cranked up the voltage, then we saw 5 people. Oh, suddenly there are 5 people. We cranked up the voltage, sunlight came, now we see 1,000 people here. So you are seeing more things simply because your voltage is up. So you never try to become aware, you just get your energies into a higher state of intensity. Once there is intensity, awareness naturally happens. But everybody is trying to be aware. When you try to be aware, you will only end up with dog-like alertness. With this, what will happen is, you will start doing only one thing at a time. Right now, people are talking about this all over the world, particularly in this country, that people are saying you should do only one thing at a time. This took millions of years to get this brain to this place, all right? Millions of years of evolution to get it to this place that it can do 1,000 things at the same time. Now somebody is teaching you must do one thing at a time. Be an earthworm. Earthworm is just mindful then. It does only one thing at a time.
Right.
The very purpose
wanna-
of this evolution and this cerebral capability, you're going against it simply because you don't know how to handle it. So do not mistake alertness, which is useful for survival, as awareness. They're two different things.
Okay.
Unless you intensify your life energies, there is no awareness.
Okay. Do you know the term stay woke? That's what, like,
It's a millennial
everyone, it's a
term.
millennial term that everyone's using right now, stay woke.
What does millennium mean? They're 1,000 years old, is it?
That's a good one. You're just full of them. But obviously, I feel like it really speaks to what you just said about how people kind of believe that this alertness and awareness is something that people are only now just coming to terms with because the voltage is being turned up.
Where's the voltage turned up? On the internet.
Well, it's
No, but
turned
life
About
voltage.
everything,
up,
yeah.
right, on everything.
I don't think so. They're just getting hyper in their mind, that is not voltage. That will
He's
use… that
He's saying
will
like
use-
voltage is more light to provide, so you can see to a different
See,
depth.
right now…
But that's what I'm saying, stay woke, I feel like, is trying to encompass.
No. Right now what people are doing is, they're trying to up their activity. If you up your activity without upgrading this machine, something will break. Right now, you have a… what was the Ford you were supposed to bring out? 1967,
The Bronco? Yeah.
67?
Yes, that is
So you
orange.
get a 1967 Bronco and take it on the F1 track and try to race with the rest. You will break it into
Yeah.
10 different pieces. And of course,
Maybe
you
more.
also. Yes. So if you want to be on the track, at least you must have a Ferrari, upgraded machine. So instead of upgrading the machine, you're trying to upgrade your activity. So people are cracking up. You should never try to upgrade your activity. You upgrade the machine, it will do what it can do anyway. But people are upgrading their activity out of their ambition or their desires or whatever. Now, immense suffering, successful people are suffering more than the not-so-successful people. Today, you look at the faces of I'm constantly in the economic forums, billionaires and billionaires, you look at their faces, they're suffering much more than not-so-successful people. Those who are not so successful, once they come to terms with their lack of success, they can walk in the park happily. Successful people are stressed to the limit because they have upped their activity without upgrading the machine.
Which goes back to our friend Notorious B.I.G., more money, more problems.
I wouldn't say that.
Just-
Why is he saying this?
He's quoting Notorious B.I.G. I don't know where that
More
came from.
money is not more problem. If the money stays in your pocket, it's very useful. If it gets into your head, it's a perversion.
Right,
but, yeah.
okay.
In your pocket, it's useful. You
Yeah.
can do many things. But if it gets into your head, it makes you sick.
Which is what most people
I
at a
wonder-
high success rate, what you're saying right now, who are super stressed, are just obsessed with it, right?
Right, because it goes into their mind. Okay,
Interesting.
so back to square one, where I'm not going to ask about bringing mindfulness into the relationship.
Yeah.
What are some tools and technologies that you suggest when wanting to maintain or develop better communication practices?
How to survive another 12 days is what you ask.
Another 12 centuries.
See,
With your loved one or anyone, really.
there is… we run a business event in India, 4-day business event where top 200 CEOs attend every year in the month of November. So when they come there, we have a center where every day minimum 10 to 12,000 people are visiting us. Weekends, anywhere between 25 to 40,000 people are visiting us. It's all managed by volunteers, total volunteers. There is no paid employees. So people come there, look at the way, at the efficiency levels that are happening there and the way things are created. They're asking me, Sadhguru, how is it? We have large corporations, we have highly skilled people, we cannot manage a situation like this, how do you manage? I said, see, you guys are devoted to the results, goals that you have. I have made sure everybody here is devoted to the process. If you handle the process right, result will come. But you are dedicated to the
Result.
result. In yoga we say, if you have one eye on the goal, you have only one eye to find your way, which is very inefficient. Right now, you want flowers in your garden. If you sit there and mindfully do flower meditation, it's not going to come. You have to handle the soil, the manure, the water, the sunlight properly. Does the soil look like a flower?
No.
Does the manure smell like a flower?
No.
Water, sunlight feel like a flower?
No.
No. But only if you handle those things right, flowers will happen. Flower is a consequence. But now you're interested in the flower, you're not interested in the process which gets you the flower. Whether it's the individual human being, what is the highest way of being for a human being, don't worry about that. What is the thing I must do now? If you do this right, result will come. But people are so focused on the result, they don't do what they have to do properly. If you have to do anything right, is it not important? At least if you are not blissed out, at least you're peaceful and happy to do something right. Is it not important? Even if you want to just enjoy a walk in this park, is it not important? At least you're peaceful if you're not ecstatic.
Right.
Now people are saying peace is the ultimate goal of their life. Such people will only rest in peace.
That wait, what?
They will
At
only
least we'll
rest in peace.
because
my
it's the
God.
goal of
This
life.
is never going to happen.
Yeah.
Tell me, is peace an ultimate goal or it's the most fundamental requirement? If you want to enjoy your meal, you must be peaceful.
Yeah.
If you
Right.
if you want to enjoy a friend, you must be peaceful. If you want to enjoy a walk in the park, you must be peaceful. Is it a basic requirement or is it an ultimate goal?
Basic requirement.
But see, it's become an ultimate goal simply because you did not focus or you're not devoted to the process, you're devoted to the goal. This is what happens.
Right.
Simple things become so complex.
Right.
And I think too, people are so hyper-focused on what they're doing today and tomorrow, and they're like, oh, I didn't do what I needed to today and I didn't do tomorrow, but you know, you're constantly growing, and if you look back a year from each time, you've done so much and you've grown so much and you've had a process along the way, but you're always just hyper-focused on the minutiae right in front
you're
of
talking about doing so much and then growing. I'm talking about first grow and then do.
you. I got you.
Right.
Then the very activity will be at a higher scale altogether. Are you a Ford Bronco or are you a Ferrari? That determines how fast your vehicle
Bit of a
goes.
hybrid. I like to take a lot of naps. That's my Bronco in the middle.
There's a book called Inner Engineering, it's been a New York Times bestseller. It's been just out for 1 year. It's a simple…
Am I ready for that, or do I have to read the intro to the manual?
This is the intro to the user's manual.
Okay. I love
That's
that.
important. Right now the problem is, when you're trying to perform more activity than… you're upping the activity without upgrading this means, in some way you're trying to be a super human. But it's not about being superhuman, it's about realizing being human is truly super, because in the evolutionary scale of things, at least on this planet, we are on the peak. Yes, we are the peak of evolution, but we are the biggest mess. Not because we are that, simply because we try to blunder through life without learning how to operate this machine.
Right.
The most complex and sophisticated thing, but we are still cavemen, doing things in a crude manner and think it'll work. And it's not working. The very level of misery that people are going through in affluent nations. Leave people who are in war zones, starved out, leave them, I will excuse them. But those who are well-fed and living in comfortable positions, how miserable they are is unbelievable.
Right.
It's a crime on humanity. That you've eaten well and you're miserable.
It's true.
It is a crime on humanity.
Speaking of a crime on humanity, and those who have lots and are very comfortable, who are very, what's the word?
Affluent?
No, who then feel kind of tortured by themselves. It brings them a lot of anxiety or stress or whatever, all these outside causes. What do you think? I'm trying…
Not outside causes, they're on self-help.
Right.
Self-help to misery.
Right. That's very true. Self-help to misery.
This
So,
inner engineering book is self-help to joy. See, it's like this. Every human experience, whether it's misery or joy, only comes from within you, isn't it? If world may not happen the way you want, that's understandable. But you are not happening the way you want, that's a big problem. If you had a choice how to be, would you choose misery or joy? Choose now, I'm going to bless you.
Joy.
Yes. The natural choice is pleasantness, highest level of pleasantness for yourself. Now the problem is just this, that we have come to a state within ourselves where we believe it comes from outside. I want to be happy, but this guy is not okay. I'm unhappy, or she did something. Somebody else is determining what should happen within you. See, suppose I decide what you should wear, what you should eat, what you should do, what will you call this? You'll say, this is slavery, I don't want this, isn't it? But somebody else can decide what should happen within you. Is this not the worst form of slavery?
Yes.
Someone can decide whether you're joyful or miserable. Isn't this the worst form of slavery? Do you call this a relationship or this is a slavery?
I would call that a slavery.
Slavery. First get out of this, that somebody else does not decide whether I'm peaceful or joyful or blissful or miserable. Is not determined by somebody, it's me who decides because it happens from within. I'm talking about only upgrading technologies. See, if you had a Ford Bronco, along with that, you need 3 guys to push the vehicle to get it started.
Yeah.
This is a push-start vehicle. But today everything is self-start. If you touch it, it starts. Is it not time that your joy, your love, your well-being, your ecstasy is on self-start? Because it's coming from within. What comes from within you must be in your hands, isn't it? What happens outside, everybody has a stake, we can't decide everything. Some things we can do, but rest. Everybody has a role in it, that's a different matter. But what is happening within you must be determined by you, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you determine that, definitely every moment of your life you will be blissful.
I love that.
And the biggest problem right now is people think they must do something to be well. They do not know the ease and ecstasy of their existence. You have a dog or a cat at home?
Nope.
You've seen them. Once their stomach is full, have you seen with how much ease they sit? How many human beings have you seen like that, sitting with ease?
Not many.
If they sit in one place, they go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they do not know the ease and ecstasy of their existence. This is what needs to happen.
Right.
If you are ecstatic simply because of your existence, rest is just a play, all right?
Right.
Rest is just a play. Now, when I say the ecstasy of existence, the essential nature of this is like this. Today you know, all human experiences have a chemical basis to it. What you call as joy, what you call as love, what you call as misery, anxiety, madness, everything has a chemical basis to it. So this is a chemical soup, a very complex chemical soup. Question is only, is it a great soup or a lousy soup?
I think it'd be great soup.
No.
Well, it's lousy for most people.
It's lousy for a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You want it
I
to
thought
be
you
a
were-
So
great
the
soup.
problem
right?
is this, you have the greatest chemical factory here, most complex chemical factory. What's happening in one molecule of DNA cannot be done in all the chemical factories put together. That much is happening. Question is only that you are a lousy CEO.
You're not a good chef. The soup's boiling at the wrong temperature.
Gotta put the right spices in there. Do you feel like you have a responsibility to share your learnings and your knowledge with others and the community?
I don't think on those lines. All I see is, tell me, if you're very joyful, all right? Let's say you're right now blissed out. You're walking here, and somebody is coming here. They're very thirsty, they don't know where water is. If it is there, will you tell them, please, it's there, go and drink water? Or will you just say, okay, let him go and die?
I tell him there's water.
Yes. But if you're very miserable, you may not tell them.
Right.
It's his problem, I got enough problems of my own. But when you're joyful, you will definitely tell them. If they don't realize where, you will go there and show them where it is.
I feel
Yes
that's
or no?
a way, just on the street in New York, when you walk around, you'll see people with maps, and some people stop and talk to them, others are just focused, But those people want them
So
to
it's
enjoy a
only
better
when you're-
experience and get somewhere they're
Only
going.
when you are not an issue, you will try to sort out every issue.
Yeah.
When you yourself are an issue, you're not interested in any other
That's
issue.
so true.
Yeah.
So the first and foremost is this, if you know the ease and ecstasy of your existence, then you will naturally do the best that you can do. Right now what's happening with human beings is this, what they can do, they're not doing. See, if you do not do what you cannot do, that's not a problem. But if you do not do what you can do, you're a disaster, isn't it? I'm not a disaster. Everything I can do, I do. What I cannot do, I do not do.
And you're comfortable with that. You figured it out.
I
No,
love
whatever
it.
I can do, I will do my best.
Yeah.
That much I know, I'll not hold back.
Yeah.
Right,
But if something does not happen, it's simply because I cannot do.
right.
It's a great
Wow.
perspective.
It is about perspective.
I feel we're pretty good at that, but we just get overwhelmed with trying to get in our heads about getting forward.
No, first and foremost,
needs
We
to-
need to be about the
this
process.
machine should be feeling
Yeah.
blissed out.
Yeah.
Then it's very natural and effortless to do my best.
Yeah.
When this has its own issues,
Yeah.
you won't do everything.
And about enjoying the process, not necessarily thinking about the goal.
Being devoted to the process is important. Goal will happen.
Yeah. Letting
Goal
the
is
process
important only because you want to be better than other people. Being better than other people means you enjoy other people's suffering. That's a miserable way to exist. Most human beings are enjoying what others cannot have. Unfortunate.
happen. I like to enjoy my success with others.
No, you enjoy what you have, that's not a problem. But people enjoy what others don't have. Somebody enjoys a diamond. Not because of anything, if you cut a piece of glass properly, it'll look more beautiful than a diamond actually. And many people may be wearing a piece of glass not knowing that it's a piece of glass. Hey, did he give you
Also
a wedding
true.
ring? You checked it.
No, you didn't. But I did.
He gave a glass piece. What does it matter? It looks beautiful. I'm saying, if all the streets were paved with diamond, would you put it on your hand?
No, because everyone would have it.
Everybody would have it. So you're enjoying something that others cannot have. This must go in a human being. First and foremost thing, that you do not enjoy what others don't have. You enjoy whatever you enjoy, that's up to you.
Right.
Why is it important whether somebody has it or doesn't have it? You enjoy something.
It's the same, we talked about this theory in an inadvertent way when we got engaged, because Hannah was saying, this is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen, and I would say, to us.
You believe that?
I do, actually.
But
to
to us.
and it's just exactly what you're saying, it's because we enjoy
Yes.
it.
Right.
It's not the most beautiful to this girl who's gonna walk by, she could have something that's better
Yeah.
to her because
That's not the
it has a
point.
momentous
Yes.
moment that came with it that reminds her of something, so you enjoy it because of that. Just like our home, we renovated our home, and it's the most beautiful home that we have, that we enjoy. It's not someone else's
That's perfectly
ideal
fine.
home. Yeah.
But most of the time, people are enjoying what others cannot have.
Right.
If you remove this one sickness, then being blissful becomes very simple. Then teaching you how to be blissful is just teaching you how to manage your chemical factory.
Right. I love the chemical factory
Yeah.
and my chemical soup and my hardware that if I upgrade with the manufacturer.
If you upgrade this one, activity naturally gets upgraded.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have a Ferrari, you'll drive in a certain way.
Right.
Ford Bronco, he'll drive in another way.
How about, where's the Hannah 2.0? Is it coming? The
It's
upgrade?
here, babe.
Or are we just going to a solid 1.0 because that's back to where it needs to be? question.
He was being very serious when he said he thinks he's a guru. All the time. I don't know where this is going.
Definitely not. I'm learning a lot. This is amazing. I feel like I could listen to you talk for hours.
I know. Well, apparently there's like 14 hours of work that we have to do before we can even like get the
fall.
manuscript. So we're going to be subscribing.
The
instruction manual.
Yeah, instruction manual. Okay.
User's manual.
The user's manual.
Okay, guys. Well,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And if you like this episode of HBFIT TV, please subscribe to more. And don't forget to follow Sadhguru on his channel and on social media, because obviously we all need to learn more. So.